You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 5th meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. You can find out more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
It's 4:35, so we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. Elder Teen Allen? Here. Gerald Gordon? Here. Mr. Carroll?
Here.
Marty Corley?
Present.
Bunny Dunkey? Here. Diana Gore? Jacob Lorenz? Here. Mercedes McCollum? Jessica Bryan here. Mary Ellen Quinn? Here. Tyler Robinson Walker? Here. And Mr. Larry Ness? Here. We still don't have any minutes from last month because we have them out on the list.
Sojo.
So they're not, I don't know.
I saw you, Sojo. I knew you were here.
I made up my new list for this month and I will add you to it next month. So we don't have minutes yet from previous months, but to resolve that issue, I talked to Daryl Porton, who has agreed to serve as our volunteer secretary.
Oh, wow. Good idea, Jess.
Yes, so we will have minutes next month to approve.
And maybe I can interrupt and speak briefly on that. I did speak to Tatanisha about you possibly being the person to do that. I said we'd have to know for sure here today. But so since you're willing to do it, thank you very much. Contact Tanisha. I mean, you can look off the previous minutes that we had and get the form that we need.
Okay.
She might also have you send the notices out for the meeting. She mentioned something about that, and that has to go to the commissioners, and then go to the city council, and it goes to the news dispatch and the mayor's office.
Okay.
But, I mean, so just speak to her, and so we get that arranged, and those notices have to go out 48 hours before the meeting.
Okay.
She said she was gonna do the December minutes, because she had to have the December minutes. And we made a donation that month, I don't remember who it was to, but we made a donation. And she-
Northwest Indiana Food Council.
Yeah, and so she said she had to have the minutes to do that. So we didn't mention anything about January or February minutes. We have, Elko had recorded them, so they're there. But I don't really think, I think it's important we start doing the minutes from here on in, so hopefully we'll get
If we need them, I got partial minutes right here. So.
So that's an update on what Tanisha told me. She also said, just to interrupt again, that the mayor is in the process of changing the local hiring ordinance, contract compliance local hiring, so that's not under Michigan City Human Rights anymore, so that's in the works. But I haven't heard anything from the mayor. I was gone for a couple of weeks, but I haven't heard anything from the mayor since our last meeting. So I'll turn it back over, sorry.
Sure, no, thanks for the update. Do we have a finance report?
Not a formal one, but since there has been no activity, I'm assuming the balance remains at $5,419.95, which has been the balance since at least October 31st, so.
And we don't have an executive director's report, any staff attorney report other than the updates you've already given?
No, I think that's it. If I think of something else, I'll.
Sounds good. We can go to our committee reports. We've already talked to finance, development committee. Mary Ellen, did you have any updates from the development committee?
No, I do not.
Education committee?
The scholarship underneath that? Sure, I don't have an agenda in front of me. So I passed out, I passed out the scholarship award forms, the forms for the applicants. Basically, I mean, it pretty much runs itself. Last year, the forms don't really change. I changed the dates out. I looked if I can get them out by Friday into the schools. April 12th will be the due date. That'll give them a whole month to basically get it done, and then plus give us a couple of weeks to get a selection made, and then get it to the high school before graduation. Last day of school is May 22nd. So I was hoping that we could get a winner in time enough, because I know they do their awards presentation, which is usually like those last couple of weeks, that one of us from the commission can be there to present the scholarship to the students. And if we are, I know before we used to have our lunch and everything, I know we're not financially set to maybe do those again, but if we could do maybe a small thing with them, maybe here, the police station's always open, we have a good community room, or somewhere in the community where we could do something when we present it to them also. Those are some options. So I wanted to get those printed out to let you all see, kind of look them over, see if there's if everybody's agreement with what we have there. Then I will work on getting those out to the schools on Friday.
In the past, has that been at the same time as the Humanitarian of the Year award, or is that a separate event?
Yes, Humanitarian of the Year, not the newcomer, what was the other award we have? The
Hawkins Williams Scholarship.
Hawkins Williams Scholarship, and then there was one other
Unsung Hero.
Unsung Hero Award. Yeah, we always, either before, when I first got on commission, we had a fabulous night of entertainment and food that Mary Ellen always did for us, and then I know we had went to a luncheon, and so they've always been the same. But again, I know our situation is a little bit different now with, getting back on our feet with the executive director and money and also. So like I said, if at the least we can do the presentation to high school if we get in time, but it would be nice to have maybe a small reception for them, like say either here at the police station or somewhere in the community.
And I have discussed this with Jessica. Actually, we have the money.
Oh,
Okay, before, it's tenuous when you want to put on a luncheon when you have $300 in the bank and you're depending on selling tickets. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay that catering bill. So we definitely are going to do something on a smaller scale. But first, we had to iron out a few things like reinstituting the Humanitarian of the Year.
Okay.
And just FYI, everybody, one of the reasons that went off was because one year we got no nominations.
Yeah.
We had to go back to previous ones. So that was one of the reasons why, but we have talked about resurrecting that if the commission would want to do that. I don't think it'd ever be on the scale it was when we had it at the senior center, but you never know. It's just what are we willing to do? So,
Okay.
thank you, Marty.
Yeah.
I have a question. Are the themes, I don't recall, the same as last year's?
Yes. Yeah. Judy Huber's usually always the same. It's really never changes. Hawkins Williams has changed just a little bit, but it's usually around experience that the kids had, both of them. And I thought it's just, when you think of Mr. Hawkins and especially Mrs. Williams, you think they're both change agents. So I thought to keep the theme same as asking the kids if they had something, what is something that they would change in high school if they had the opportunity to.
No, I think they're good topics. I just don't recall.
Yeah, they're usually about the same. Like I say, Hawkins Williams has been tweaked a little bit here and there throughout the years, but Judy Huber has always consistently been the same format that it is now.
Thank you.
Which is really, don't give me too much credit, all I do is change some dates. Like the format, we've used the forms have been used over the years, and we pretty much haven't altered much from those, so it took me about 10 minutes. But I will take any applause or anything.
There's a lot of work. Good job.
Good job.
Yeah, but there's still work to come as far as getting them in and then getting a committee together to judge those.
That's a lot of writing to do.
Yeah.
What has been the turnout in the past? Do you recall like last couple times?
I know there was one year where we had a hard time. I remember when Jeff was the executive director, me and him set up a table at the high school and actually was giving out applications. But generally we get between the two, I think we generally get about, and I can look in my
I feel like it was like 7 or 8.
yeah, we generally get a nice number of applicants throughout the years, and I can tell you here in 1 second because I can look at
Yeah, we don't need to.
just like the general. So like here I have 6 on Hawkins Williams and another 6 or 7 in Judy Huber. Usually what happens is mostly each student applies for both of them. Every once in a while, I think the Judy Huber, we got one student that didn't apply to Hawkins last year, so that's why 7 there and 6. But usually students apply for both and, from there usually.
It's $1,000, but I know that in the past, sometimes we haven't had the number that we wanted.
Yeah.
But, good, I think that number's good if we can get that.
Is that usually funded through the Humanitarian of the Year lunch and ticket sales? Is that where that money comes from?
Yes, yeah. But I think we budgeted for it this year, unless I'm wrong. If that's another thing, I guess, I think we have the money, right, for the 1,000. Because I know in the past we had cut it in half and some other things, but. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't been spending all that much,
Okay.
so.
We weren't able to do the luncheon as a result of COVID. We didn't have the money. That's
Yeah.
as plain and simple as
Yeah.
that. You know?
Well, I think we're good for this year.
Yeah, we are because the previous administration gave us $5,000. So we are well healed for this year.
Anything else?
No, let's see, anybody have any questions for me? I guess my other question is, in the past, I think if there's any commissioners that want to be part of the reading and judging, just reach out to me and let me know. And we have a nice rubric system that we use to kind of walk you through. For those of you who've done it before, it's very all you really got to do is read and then look at the rubric system and pick and, figure it out. It comes out very nice.
No, it's a nice event, and the students usually read their essay then at the luncheon or dinner, whatever we're gonna have, and they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, they are. We've had some winners. I mean, kind of thinking back at some of the students that where they are now and who has won. I think majority of the students who have won our award, and not saying anything about nobody else's award, are all either out of college in some type of job or career. So that's good.
I liked last year, most of the applicants were looking at 4-year degrees, and one of the recipients was headed to Ivy Tech on a 2-year degree.
Yeah.
So it's a very diverse group of students
Yeah.
applying for it and receiving the scholarship.
Yeah.
That's great. We don't have a chair for the Community Engagement Committee, but do we have any reports from the Social Status of African American Males Commission?
Well, yes, on the social status, through the committee of, subcommittee of justice, Commissioner McCormick commented on an issue regarding individuals who participate in the county release program. And these individuals who have pleaded guilty and must report back to the county jail on the weekend are rebooked in, and the individual has his photo retaken and recharged for the same offense. One charge may appear as 4 if the individual is required to report for 3 weekends. Commissioner McCormick suggested that the Social Status Commission and the local NAACP join together to come up with a plan where the weekenders are sent to the county corrections facility rather than jail and then booked in on a current original charge. And Commissioner McCormick also suggested that the commission, along with the NAACP, start going to the county council meetings to let them know what's happening, what he feels is going on. And also I'd like to bring up, I think we need to be very careful of our elderly. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about healthcare elderly. With so many are on Medicare Advantage, and many have even come to me and they've complained about it. And but make sure they don't go that wherever you go, whether it be a dentist, whether it be a whatever healthcare provider you have where you're going to, make sure they don't go above in what you truly owe. In other words, if you're on Medicare Advantage and they go to a certain limit, and then you get a bill in the mail above, way above it, that you didn't know anything about, then you can approve of that. I will say that I was in a place where there were this place was a healthcare place. It had people in wheelchairs on oxygen. And they were beside themselves. They said, our insurance only goes so high, and you're going way above that. And what you're telling me that you done, this wasn't done. Now this is done in Michigan City. And that's why I'm bringing it out. I'm trying to do the best that I know how to get in touch with legal services, to get in touch with all. I had 4 or 5 people coming to me, and these people were in wheelchairs on oxygen, and they were crying because they were looking at their bill, and they said, there is no way that I can pay this bill. I'm on Social Security, I don't have that kind of money. And I didn't approve this to happen. Well, I found out through searching on this particular healthcare provider or healthcare system that they have several suits against them right now. And they're in Michigan City. I don't want to mention who, I don't think I want to mention who they are.
I think you should.
No, you can't.
No,
Okay, sorry.
no, not from a legal
No,
standpoint.
slander.
But I feel it not only happened to them, it happened to me.
Okay, you can speak.
And they asked me, they said, some of them were some of my congregation, some of them were people that I know in the community. And I just happened to have an appointment the same time they did, and it was filled with all elderly people. And that's what they were going through.
Let me say this to you. Sometimes you have Medicare and Medicaid, and you get a phone call. Wait a minute, let me finish. And someone will say, let's sign you up for Medicare, Medicaid Advantage, or whatever it is. And sometimes seniors don't listen to the entire spiel because they don't understand. And that's how a lot of people get on the Advantage plan. If you got money, you don't want to be on the Advantage plan. But Minority Health Partners has had 2 workshops at the Housing Authority for seniors. And we talked about mental health and we talked about insurance. If you know someone that needs to have a workshop and a talk to, we had an insurance agent there, we had a health professional there, and we had a young lady that used to live in this city that's over mental health in South Bend. And so we address those issues. But sometimes if you answer the phone, if it's a solicitor, just hang up. Don't say yes, because the minute you say yes, they're gonna hook your name up to something saying that you said yes when you were only answering, yes, this is me. So if you want to have something where your parishioners or your congregation would like some help, then we can try to help provide that help for you. And you can get out of that service. My girlfriend said yes on the phone, and they switched all of her benefits. She went to the hospital and had to go to the nursing home for rehab. She didn't have that benefit anymore. So it pays to not talk to that solicitor that's calling you on the phone, because it's a racket.
Yes, I think they should warn people
And
that.
so we put it in the bulletin at our church about answering the phone, don't talk to a solicitor or whatever. But you know, sometimes if you're senior, you're just gonna go to yakking.
Right.
Because I know I do, but it's just habit. And you know, so we've had 2 workshops at the Housing Authority, and we'll have one at your church or wherever if you so desire.
This all happened in the office with these people. This was
Well,
on the
you had
telephone.
Medicare Advantage before you got to the office.
Well, yes. I
Yeah, so
did.
that's the issue, that's the start of your issue right there.
And most of these folks were on Medicare Advantage.
Yeah, well, that's the issue.
And I didn't know it, they didn't know it, and they were asking me. I had, like I said, 4 or 5 from my, not 2 from my congregation, others that knew me in the community, and they knew that I was on human rights, and I said, what can we do about it? And I said, I don't know, I'm gonna have to check out to see what I can do about it. So I have been checking out, and sent several letters, emails to the Indiana
Attorney Generals.
Attorney General. I sent one letter. And then one more to another one. I forgot where that is. I got it. I sent one to them. They both responded and said, we're working on it. And these other people have been calling me that know me, and I'm saying, you're on Human Rights. Well, yeah, I'm on Human Rights Commission. I can bring it up and go try to go through the process and see what happens. And this, the way I'm looking at it, this could be a forever process.
It could be a forever process, but I think you guys have already begun the process from what I hear you guys talking about at our local level, partnering with, the Minority Health Alliance and Coalition to help be able to educate our, older adults in our community. That is an initiative that we can do at this level. At a state level, we may not be able to see that turnaround, but to be able to see what bills are at a state level that is about to go to the governor's, desk to be able to advocate and rally against that bill that may put a cap on certain, services that our elderly population are receiving. So at a local level, yes, we have the answer sitting right at the table. At a state and federal level, that takes time. And so, yes, that's called advocacy, and advocacy doesn't usually happen overnight.
And these folks have also they have their billing, and the thing is, it's taking them, the ones that I talked to, they had 7 months to get billed. They finally got a bill after 7 months. And they said, we don't owe anything. We paid everything. We paid our deductible. We paid as far as our insurance will go. And so it's sad. It's a sad situation
It's a great community initiative.
that is happening, and it's happening in our community right now.
Yeah, Pastor Carroll did contact me about this, and I directed him to 2 different sources, and maybe this would help anybody else in the community. And you all heard this before,
Yes.
but number 1 is legal services for legal problems and legal action to take personal action against any defendant. Normally, you have to be low income to qualify for legal services, but if you're an older adult, they have an older adult unit, and then they do not look at income. I know in the past, they've been severely limited in the number of attorneys they have, but in the past couple of years, they've got more funding and they've had more attorneys, so I would think that would be number 1, a spot to contact to see if there's anything they can do for you. And the other is the Attorney General's office in the state of Indiana. And I believe that Pastor Carroll contacted Tatanisha, and she gave him some forms to send down there.
I sent them out.
So I don't know if that would get you actually cash back, but they would look into it as an overall issue that's affecting many citizens and not just one individual. So I think that's a good thing also for them to do. Contact both of those. The attorneys to see if you can have any kind of private personal action against them, and then the Attorney General's office to see if something could be done, citywide. But so those are 2 things for anyone out there that has had similar issues with this company or any other company.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pastor, for bringing up that conversation. We also have Councilman Don Prespolinski here, the city liaison from the council.
Yes, hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me and those that do know me, hello. And I'm the liaison, I don't know how many years, but yeah, I'm back. Yeah, and I'm glad to be back.
Wonderful.
Yay. All right.
Since I was able to pick out the committees, I put myself down. That's one advantage, but yeah, no, I enjoy being on this commission and making things work. Yeah, so, thank you, Jessica.
Thanks for being here. I've said many a time that you're one of the liaisons who has been the most active that we've ever had now.
I
30
appreciate
years that I've been here, I mean, it's not even close.
I appreciate that.
Madam Chair, I have one more item.
The floor is yours.
I just want to pass this on. You probably all know about work planning and all of that, but I haven't got enough copies, but if you pass it around and then give it to Jessica and let her put it in her file. I appreciate that. It's got a lot of good information to
Is there a way to email that? Because I would like to be able to distribute that to populations transitioning back into the community.
yes.
Is there a place where I can find that on a website, or if that can be emailed to the commission?
Right, just,
Yeah,
If you want to take that copy and,
You can do
no,
that.
I don't, but I was just saying, I'm figuring somebody can scan it and send it out.
if you
Yeah.
want to just take that copy and then you can scan it and send it to the
Okay,
rest of us,
thank
I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
Because we can.
Moving on, I don't think we have any old business to discuss. A few things under new business. In light of our new direction as the Human Rights Commission towards more advocacy and public outreach, I have a new sign-up sheet for committees. I have kind of consolidated the subcommittees into just the 3 committees that we had existing. So we have Development and Fundraising Committee, Education Committee, and Community Engagement Committee, which I think really encompasses all that we're going to be doing moving forward. Marty and Mary Ellen have agreed to stay on as chairs of their committees, but we still need a chair for the Community Engagement Committee. I'm happy to open this to discussion if anybody has any input, but really the responsibilities of Development and Fundraising will be the Humanitarian of the Year Award and any other fundraising efforts. We in the past have had givebacks and sponsorships committees. I think all of that can fall under the same committee, and any way that committee decides to do any fundraising and in agreement with the rest of the commission, of course. For the Education Committee, the scholarships would be the big focus, but also the Black History Month, mostly because that focuses on youth in our community. And then for community engagement, Tyra and I discussed the best way to go about this, and we feel like in order to stay active annually throughout the year, it might be best for this committee to choose one effort every month, which would be easy to choose. This is Social Work Month, Women's History Month, there's Pride Month, there's Hispanic Heritage Month, there's Disability Awareness Month. Every month we can pick a different focus and do some kind of engagement in the community that way by partnering with an agency or organization that's already doing something. Like the Black History Month committee is already doing Black History Month, we could focus our efforts there. So that would really be the main focus of that committee, is just getting out into the community and supporting efforts that are already there and finding ways that we can kind of do our own awareness events. I'll pass this around. There's no names on any of the committees right now, so if everybody could please choose a committee to be a part of.
So it's the same arrangement that we had previously, you just want people to re-sign up?
Yes. And I consolidated all the subcommittees just under that committee. And they can all, because they all make sense together. So that was the best way I found to kind of re-engage everybody, is just to choose which committee, either development, fundraising, or community engagement, or all 3. Tyra and I both plan to be actively involved in all 3 committees, so if anybody would like to chair the community engagement committee, I'm happy to work hand in hand with you to make sure that works. But if everybody could please sign up for at least one committee so that we can move forward in a proactive way as a commission. Is there any questions or conversation about that?
That was quick.
I know I talk fast. I'm really sorry.
What'd you say?
Let me start. Well, if you have any questions, once you've seen this, feel free to mention it. Also under new business, did you want to discuss the kickback?
Yeah, so I am also, some of you know, I'm on the board for Nest Community Shelter, which was formerly PADS, the homeless shelter. And we had Leeds Restaurant does Project Turn every month where they give back. We do a cocktail of the month, we get 50% back to the organization. I had reached out for Nest and said, by the way, I'm also on this board. Anyway, they got us on the Human Rights Commission for April. So we'll do a cocktail of the month for April, and then 50% of the proceeds will go back. And I checked, we were able to raise $1,000 for the homeless shelter when we did it last year. And that's in January, so I'm hoping we'll have a better turnout in April. So get to leads in April, spread the word, and
Thank you for getting on that, because before we did it for the Social Status Commission in GAD, I want to say we got $1,200. And then I was online for our commission, just never got in touch. And in between that, me and Josh hadn't written back to Josh. So thank you for getting us on that, because you can definitely, that drink of that cocktail of the month that they do generates a nice amount of money for any organization. I mean, at the minimum, I think I've seen organizations at the least get $800. Like I said, for the commission, we got $1,200 off of that.
That's fabulous.
Off of that.
What's that?
Easy way to raise
At
money.
least to do the cocktail of the month,
Oh, yeah.
and the money's going to a charity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it gets cooked.
It's on their
it's on their
website.
menu, yeah.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook. So as a commission, if you guys could help promote that during the month of April to, within your circles, have people go and support that. It's like the best way to do it. It's just.
Yeah. Yes, and the Abby is really easy to work with.
Oh, yeah.
No, they make it, so she'll get back to me with the information, and then I'll let everybody know.
Okay, thank
She'll
you.
be- But she had mentioned that she'd worked with the commission before.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Any other new business?
I was gonna bring up some new business, just making us, aware of what things are, going on state and federal wide that may trickle down into our community. Don't know if you guys have been following the SEA, 480 bill that, went into effect last week in reference to banning, youth under the LGBTQ plus community in reference to any medical altering support under the age of 18. That is a community that is definitely, having a hard time right now. And so it has put some restraints on medical and mental health professionals helping this population in treatment. As of right now, as a licensed clinical social worker, I would not be able to refer, if this was my client, I would not be able to refer them for any medical treatment right now. I would be considered arrested. But yet it conflicts with my code of ethics and under my license that I am to advocate for all people and all needs and all things. And so this is where we are in our actual community as of right now. I cannot even refer them out of state right now if I wanted to, because Indiana has this SEA 480 law right now in reference to this population. Last I remember, unless something has changed under a PFLAG, we do have a local community PFLAG, but we do not have a youth PFLAG. I know there's a youth PFLAG in Crown Point, but a lot of my colleagues that work with this population are having a lot of crisis in reference to this. So just making us aware of what's out there in our community and what we can possibly be inundated with as a human rights department and commission to support populations that may not be able to have the resources here. The other thing that's going on, you guys have probably heard about it already. The DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, this actual Senate Bill 202 that is right now at our governor's desk, prohibiting and limiting some communication, education in reference to our universities, and some may possibly happen within our high school and elementary schools, limiting the materials, the discussions, and the actual education that we can provide in reference to just education. And as most of you guys know, it's going to be very interesting for me as I teach diversity and social justice, and my first class is tomorrow. So we will be talking about Senate Bill 202. And so just recognizing that we as a commission may want to be on the lookout following this bill and what our governor does in reference to this and what we need to do in our community to continue to advocate for all diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community and statewide.
Bill, Ms. Natasha,
Senate Bill 202.
we have a representative from Minority Health out of Indianapolis that serves on the legislature down there, so I'll just ask her to send us some more stuff.
Absolutely, please. Thank you.
Sure. Any other new business to discuss? Any commissioner comments?
Just want to invite everybody out. Well, Thursday, turn on WIMS from 8:15 to 8:45. The Michigan City Police Department, we have a radio spot called Chatting with the Chiefs. We will have our commander for the Division of Professional Standards on, to kind of let the community know what that division really does and what they're doing, and you can call in and ask questions. I don't know if you can call and ask questions, but you can comment or stuff on Facebook. It's live. And then next Monday, invite you all out to, we have another community initiative where so we do first Thursday of every month, our radio spot. And then the second Monday of every month, we'll be at a local McDonald's from 8 to 9 a.m. It's called Coffee with the Chiefs. As you all, if you don't know, and you haven't, I'm gonna let you know, all three of us, we usually do things together. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's not just one. You're not just gonna see me. Most of the time you see us all three doing stuff together.
Which McDonald's?
So we'll be at the McDonald's on the Boulevard on Monday, next Monday, from 8 to 9. So come out, have a cup of coffee, conversate with us. We will have more officers there that you can, mix and mingle with. The goal is to get us out more in the community, in an environment that we're more approachable. It's not that you just call us for service or anything, but you can get to know us. I think, this is one of our goals of building our connection with the community. I mean, every year we strive to bridge that gap, and I think, we'll continue to try to be innovative and find different ways to do that as much as possible. So.
Chief, was that 8 a.m.?
Yes, 8 a.m.
And WIMS, what
It's 8:15 a.m.
8:15 a.m., thank you.
And I'd just like to mention that March is Developmental Disabilities Month nationally. I have not done anything for the month, unfortunately, but maybe I
Well,
can.
March is a jam-packed month.
March is every-
Women's History, Social Worker Month is jam-packed. They put us all in one month. Say that.
I have one more thing, Joe. I'm sorry. I've been also the Easter egg hunt is coming up. Citywide Easter egg hunt is coming up. It's March 30th. It's an actual hunt. From about 8:45 to 11 a.m. We'll need volunteers to come out and help us hide the eggs, and that 11:30 a.m. the gates open, and 12 p.m. is the hunt starts here on Fetters Alley. March 27th. And I don't know exact times right now. For some reason I want to say 9 to 12.
9 to 12.
9 to 12 is
That's what the guy in the senior center.
9 to 12 we'll be stuffing the eggs at the senior center, and we will also be feeding you. So come out, stuff some eggs, get some food. We generally stuff anywhere from 30 to 40,000 eggs. So
What's the time on that?
9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the senior center. It's a great time to not only help stuff eggs, but you also will sit at a table with either people you know or you don't know. So you can conversate with your friends or you can know new people as you're stuffing eggs. So, and then you also get fed, if I didn't say that one. You will get fed.
Free meal.
Free meal.
And this Friday is women's luncheon. 11 to, 12 to 2 at Creek Memorial Park.
The Women's Commission?
Yeah, get a hold of Faye Moore if you want to go.
Are there any comments from the public?
No?
All right, then I call for adjournment. Thanks, everyone.
Next meeting, April 2nd.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.